Hey friends, welcome back to Everson Road. I'm Naomi if you're new here. Today I just want to take you along as I get a lot of my preservation done. This past week just started the Every Bit Counts challenge hosted by Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead, and every year I try to participate. I don't always get everything preserved every day because like I said, I don't have a huge garden, but I'm gonna work really hard to get something preserved. You'll see as we go along throughout this week that we get quite a bit preserved, and I'm actually marking in my garden journal this year, which I've never done before, but I would love to see what our progress was at the end of our garden season. So stay tuned and join us today as we get a lot of things from our garden preserved. So for roasting my tomatoes, I'm just cutting this top part off. I'll stick that in my compost. And I'm gonna stick my tomatoes in this pan as straight up and down as I can get them. And then I'm going to roast these at 400 degrees until the outsides of these get charred. These need done real bad. They've been sitting here way too long, but they're nice and juicy. I'm just cutting any of these bad spots off like this so that we have a good tomato sauce product. But I gave these a good rinse. Like this one, I don't know if I'll use these cucky. But I'm gonna get these cut off and just line this pan with tomatoes. Now that the skins have splintered, you can see, I'm gonna let these cool. And I'm gonna pull the skins right off. So I'm gonna do that next, but I gotta let these cool first. It's, like I said, they're at 400 degrees and I have one more pan to do. And then I'll get them canned up. Okay, so the first step for this basil tomato sauce is to put some olive oil in the pan. I'm gonna leave the recipe below. Then you add your onions and garlic and you just simmer that until transparent. And then you add your tomatoes, which I'm just gonna squeeze out of the skin because it says you're gonna end up blending it after, so I'm not chopping any of it. So that's what I'm doing first. I'm gonna get this sauteing. Okay, so the garlic and onions are transparent, and I'm literally just pulling the skins off and taking the tomatoes and dropping them in because this recipe says that you will you'll blend this before you add your basil. So I'm just like sliding them. They're coming right off the skins. I'm doing it in this pan. But you add your tomatoes and then you let this simmer for 20 minutes. And then you blend it up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so I got all the tomatoes in, and it says to bring this to a boil and let it simmer for 20 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, you let it cool a bit and you get it into your food processor blender and you get it to a thinner consistency, and then you add your basil, but I'll show you that next step when we get there. Okay, so I got the tomatoes cooked and I blended them with the garlic and the onions. Now I'm going to add the basil, and then this has to simmer and reduce down half. So it's going to be quite a process. I'm going to let this go and get this simmered down, and then we'll get our jars and our canner ready. So today I'm going to, well, actually this is a completely different day. We had to shut off our tomato sauce because we had some things that we had to do that came up. So today we are resuming. So I'm letting that tomato sauce continue to reduce, but this whole bowl of peppers needs cut up. And what we're gonna do is cut it, because I've washed them. You can see water on them still. I'm gonna cut them up into small pieces. I'm going to put them in food saver bags, and then I'm going to get them frozen. So the first thing I gotta do is get them cut up. Then I have this plate right here that I've been saving seeds on, so I'm gonna continue to put seeds on here. It's part of our collecting everything we can. We like to save seeds from our peppers and tomatoes and whatever else we possibly can. Same with the jalapenos I'm gonna do later. I'm gonna get them. I have a bowl for those, and I label them so I don't get them confused. So I'm gonna get these cut up now and then save the seeds and get these put in vacuum seal bags. Here are all the seeds I got from them bell peppers, which is a ton. Hundreds and hundreds of plants can be planted now. And then in here, that's the bowl. Not a lot of peppers, but it's a good start for this year. And like I said, we're going to get these bagged up into freezer bags, or food saver bags. And we'll get those in our freezer, which will be amazing this winter. Honestly, there's nothing like it when you pull these out of the freezer and you're able to taste the freshness of the summer. And what's nice about these is I don't have to blanch them or anything. I literally just stick them into the food saver bags and I seal them, and they keep for I had some the one year because I had so many peppers for 2 years. And they were awesome. Never got freezer burnt or anything because of the food saver bags. And I keep them in a deep freezer, not like a regular fridge freezer. So yeah, that's what I've got so far. And now I'm going to start working on jalapenos. So now I'm working on this massive bowl of jalapenos. I have gloves. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to get these gloves on. And I have my compost bag. I have a little bowl ready for all the jalapenos. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a bowl to save my seeds and get them dry. And then I'll stick them in my little bags. But that's what I'm going to work on next. And get these all cut up and ready for my freezer. And get my food saver out and start freezing everything up. So here is our jalapenos. It's a smaller bowl than the pepper bowl. And then here are the seeds. I didn't save nearly as many seeds because I didn't want to. Because like I said, I don't think I'm even planting jalapenos next year. If it continues to look like this, and we have enough for a freezer and our recipes, I don't think I will. So that's another thing checked off the list and that will be added to our freezer. All right, so this tomato basil sauce has been reducing. I like this thickness. I'm going to get this into some jars, hot jars, reminder. This is going to go in a water bath canner, not a pressure canner. This is so high acidic, it doesn't need any amount of pressure cooking. So water bath canner in quarts for 40 minutes. And then I'll see how many that makes. And that'll be it for our tomato basil sauce. And I laugh every time because I had bowls of tomatoes and it reduced down to probably like maybe 4 quarts of sauce. But that's just the name of the game, and super grateful to add it to our pantry shelves. And no matter what we get, it's amazing that we could grow that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get these into jars, and I do have a video on this already, so I will link that below, or try to remember. I'm very bad at that, but I'm gonna try to remember to link it below on how to make this and can it. So I'm going to get them jarred up. I forgot to share. I did get 3 quarts plus a pint of our tomato sauce, but the other 3 jars I filled with water. And I like to do this every once in a while, like when my canner is not completely full. I like to fill my canner with water, or with the jars with water, so my canner's full. And then I just store these on my shelf, and just in case like we'd ever have our water go out, or like we have a lot of boil water things here. So it's nice to have like our clean filtered water. So that's what we got out of our tomatoes. Okay, so here's the end result. I got 2 pounds of bell peppers and also 2 pounds of jalapenos. And I marked them into half cup servings because a lot of my recipes require that. Like I like making homemade pico, and I would use, if I doubled it, I would use that amount, which I usually do. And same with bell peppers. If we want them in eggs or something like that, it's easy to have in these half cup containers. So that's what I've done with all the peppers. So friends, I hope you enjoyed that full week of getting lots of things preserved from our garden, and just random things like water. Like it's always important to have clean water. So to fill up my canner, that is just something extra that I do. Preserving these things means a lot to me, and I can't wait to see what my garden journal looks like at the end of this summer, and see all the things we were able to produce from our garden and things that we buy and that we store, and just to help us be a healthier and more prepared family. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. We'd love for you to be part of our Everson Road family, and we will see you next time, friends. Bye.